So we open with the two girl groups separated. We've got Jen Meredith, of all people, and Heather on one side of the boat with the other heifers on the other. Jen says, I can't believe that Angie would come at me at my most vulnerable moment. No, she realizes she's been swindled too. But Heather Gay, you didn't miss a chance to throw Lisa up under the bus saying, well, Lisa sure did stand up for Angie and say it wasn't right that you poured that little champagne on her. We saw that she was trying to take over the trip and get the best room. Well, Heather, you never get the best room. You always get the worst of everything. You got the worst body, the worst shoulders. Meanwhile, Angie feels hurt and degraded. It wasn't funny at all.
Lisa doesn't see any humor in that.
Jen, shut up. Don't swear to nothing on your dad grave, on your mama grave. We don't need you with no graves. We don't trust you, heifer. We don't trust you. When you realize you went to the store and you forgot to get pickles. I love pickles enough to go back, but it's like, dang, that's another half hour. Like, I need to get this done. I'm going to have a pickleless dinner for y'all. Shoot, and I got freaking fish. I might have to go get pickles because I don't even think I got any relish. Shit. Now Jen's upset that Lisa didn't give her the respect to come over and check on her. She's chilling with Angie. Angie feels used. Yeah, because she played you for a party. But you know what you're doing bringing this up, comparing it to her charges. You're getting us to think of her as felonious, to think of her as fraudulent. But girl, we already was doing that. Dana wants to know, when are y'all gonna stop putting up with Jen's mess?
And Lisa says, well, I just have to figure it out on my own.
You putting up with it because the girl going to jail. Dana's like, I don't know what Jennifer got on you heifers, but she ain't gonna treat me like that. We try to have a little fun and we're dancing around the boat. And when I saw Heather shake her rump, my goodness, I just thought of steel magnolias. Looked like two pigs wrestling under a blanket. Now, Dolly ain't left the house since she was 16 without lycra on her thighs, but she was brought up right. But Jen comes downstairs, and instead of having fun, she's trying to start mess. So now Lisa's trying to get Jen to have fun, and Jen's being standoffish. Jen said, I've been fun, tell them to bring it. Lisa said, if you want to say something to me, say it to me. So now Jen goes off on how Lisa didn't defend her. You ran over with Angie, who paid for the party. You need to be consistent. So Jen walks off and goes to sit somewhere else, and Lisa follows her. Now, I will say Jen has a point. If Jen was up Angie Harrington's butt, Lisa would be furious. Don't you ever expect me to have your back, don't you dare. Then she throws the crew today off the boat. A fool. A fool. So we get back from commercial, and Lisa's still trying to comfort this heifer. Meanwhile, the other girls are twerking for the captain. I'd be twerking too, he cute. So Lisa keeps screaming, did she have your back? Did she have your back? I had your back, I'm done.
Lisa says, I'm done. I'm done. Stop being a bee to me.
So now Heather's comforting Jen, saying, I know you've never been ambushed like that. Girl, she was not ambushed. Whitney gonna comfort her too. So now Lisa and Angie are kicking up dust.
You're not responsible, Angie.
So now Whitney says, well, we have to be accountable for what we say and do. And Meredith says, I'm gonna disengage. And Whitney says, yeah, because you knew you came into my house with them loose lips. Oh, goodness.
Meredith, you're really gonna use Mary's little girl read.
That ain't grown woman of you, and ain't original either. And you was really cracking up like it was funny. Up at the front of the boat, Jen, however, has gone throw somebody's shoes off. Oh, she threw off Angie's shoes. If you so rich, buy another pair. Okay, heifer. That's some Tammy Roman shit. Production comes and tells the other girls somebody's shoes are out there. Lisa's like,
I hope they're not my pre-order pumps. They're very hard to get right now.
Oh, goodness, they were Angie's. But, honey, that little kid, honey, that needed to go in the ocean. So now Jen's just acting a true child, although she's been pretty 4-year-old all episode. She said, I don't know who put your shoe in the water. It's not in the water, but I didn't put it there. So we all get back from the yacht trip. And that was a boat from hell. Everybody watching Heather coddle Jen on the way back, and they all have had it with her while the heifers passed out. Heather is being nice to Jen because nobody else is, so this gives her non-storied ass a plot line. And the heifer's going to jail after this season, so she doesn't have to worry and doesn't have to fret. Heather calls her cousin Angie and says, girl, I wish you was here. These heifers is giving me a 1 for the money and a 2 for the show. I want to get ready and go, go, go. Oh, Lord, Lisa calling her husband and he greets her with lies. He's unloading the dishwasher. None of you people cook. That's why your kids got rickets and scurvy. What dishes would you wash from Taco Bell or Hardee's? Carl's Jr. ain't cooking.
But Lisa whines to her husband that Jen said she wasn't a good friend and inconsistent. Lisa Barlow's voice is as deep as Jen's debt.
All right, it's night 1 in San Diego and we're having dinner at the Heezy. But Angie's like, are they getting paid? You know Bravo's footing the bill. They only gooped you. All right, now we're learning some tribal dances.
Meredith's like, oh, from twerking, all this moving of my hip.
That's why you almost lost your husband. We know you're missing out on legs and hips and body. Oh, and Whitney's just, shaking her little non-ass. Oh, Lord, we're having cop-themed strippers? Oh, goodness. I think you should have had firemen, Jen. I mean, I guess you figure you'll get used to gods and their presence. Whitney, you begging for a dance like you and your husband don't bring another gentleman in the bedroom. Lisa, you just didn't want to enjoy the strippers because you don't want to get too used to an attractive crotch in your face. Oh, God, so after they leave now, Dana wants to address Jen and the argument they got in. Really, after she been on one all day? Okay, let's see how piss poor this goes. The way you spoke to Angie Harrington made me uncomfortable because I don't know you that well. Okay, you know she's a butt, and a thieving butt. And the way you told Angie, your supposed best friend, to shut the F up. So what you gonna say to me? But then she throws Heather under the bus. You know how I felt. Heather said, look, I told you to talk to her. I'm not your translator. Dana said, well, you said if you ever got an ultimatum, you would end the friendship. Flashback and the heifer said it. So apparently Angie's husband went to their lawyer and the lawyer said, don't post no apologies on social media. Dana says, well, they don't want to have anything to do with you because of, your charges. So apparently Heather said she gets why they couldn't do a public apology because of the legal thing. And now Dana's putting that on blast. Dana, why are you throwing Heather up under the bus trying to get at Jen? But they destroyed my husband! Girl, you destroyed your husband. Please stop trying to blame it on them. You like Milli Vanilli. Blame it on the rain. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't let the government blame you. Just blame it on Angie's man. Yeah. Heather's like, Dana, why are you making it about me? Now Heather's like, Dana, why do you care so much about this? You ain't got no business to mind. Angie pipes up and said, well, she went to lunch with you, so she's in the middle of it. Heather said, Angie, after the day you've had, I'd listen. Angie said, well, Jen's continued a friendship with you. And Heather said, Heifer, this fool just threw your shoes off the yacht, and you want to talk about how she ain't my friend? Now Angie gonna say, I don't know if you've been a good friend to Jen. She's been the only friend to Jen. Oh, God. So Heather says, look, I've been a good friend to all of you, and I deserve grace.
But now Lisa Barlow says, well, this is inconsistent with the conversation that we had in the hot tub.
Jen said she's your friend 60% of the time, Heather.
So Lisa's really trying to get it going with Heather and Jen. Jen, tell Heather your issues. You said you were done.
So Jen asked Lisa, when did I come at you today? And Lisa's like,
it was 10 minutes ago.
So Jen's giving amnesia. So Lisa says, you know what, you're riding the Heather wave right now. And Jen says, well, you have an issue whenever someone is friends with Heather, which is true. But Heather started shit with you, throwing you under the bus. Lisa said, you threw champagne on her and embarrassed her. And then Jen says, I'm sorry. Okay, Heifer.
But Lisa wants an apology. She's mad.
So Jen says, well, my feelings were hurt that Angie was at Heather's choir rehearsal. And then Heather reminded her that Angie was with Whitney, and Whitney's like, why am I in it? And Heather said, well, you were there. Oh, God, but now Jen starts crying. Here's what I don't understand. Instead of asking if people are okay with being friends with those who've forsaken your family, maybe you need to ask, can you be friends with the felon? Can you be gal pals with the guilty? Heather said, look, I could be friends with them because they apologized. Just because they didn't do it on social media don't mean they didn't apologize. So Heather says, well, everybody else is friends with Angie. I'm going to keep being friends with Angie too. You're supposed to be my ride or die. Honey, you about to be in jail. The ride is over. Oh, God, now the only person where Jen knows where they stand is Angie K. Heifer, please. Heather's standing her ground.
But then Lisa says, well, if you don't want to acknowledge my friendship, that's fine.
Girl, why are you making this about you? And Jen storms off, that's the shit, and I'll see you soon for something.